So I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to hang out a little bit more. I figured I'd come back a little bit. Good morning. So I don't know if I'm going to have anybody back on, but unfortunately, I got kicked off. Something happened there in my last live stream, so I kind of got kicked off real quick. But figured I'd come back on, finish it up. Still doing my walk, but yeah, I figured I'd come back, John. What the hell? Somehow I got like a call. You know how I'm so technical when it comes to this stuff. I got like a call in, and I tried to pause it. I muted myself. I killed the whole damn thing. Hey, Steve. So that killed the live stream. Wanted to kind of put a pause on there. So we're back. We're good, and we're still walking. So we're gonna go ahead and just yeah. I don't know, man. Jeannie saw it. I did some rocks there. So anyway, this is the clubhouse. Looks like they're having a party. Of course, Sunday. Somebody bringing in balloons. They're having like a party in there. So we'll go check it out. You got the some of the stuff. There's a big like ballroom here, and there's the tennis courts and stuff here. The rest of the stuff. It looks like they're gonna set up for some kind of party, probably a little girls' party or something there. Yeah, they set up a little party. It's like a clubhouse in there, a whole ballroom. So we'll just kind of we'll walk around here. But anyway, the I was talking a little bit about some of the stuff that was sold on Heritage, and I tell you, really the high end stuff is going pretty high. And I missed that live stream though. So they're playing some tennis here. These are the tennis courts. I'll give you guys a little tour here. I don't know what you guys want to chat about, but getting back to the previous stuff conversation, I think I wanted to talk about the I want to talk about Strongsville. Basically, is what I want to talk about. So we'll see if we can get something going with that. I'd like to see you know we need to somehow get some type of account as to how many people are going. I know Christopher, Missouri is working on that, but I think that's going to be one of the best hangouts. And I know the guy from the Penny Sleeve is going to be there. He said he's going to be handing out a lot of free stuff too. So we'll see how that goes. There's the basketball court back there. But the main thing is going to be hanging out with people. And I'm going to be taking some stuff out there to sell and stuff. This is that's the basketball courts out there. You got to go. I think you're going to have to go all the way around. Unless you have, let's see, do you have your card? I think this has like a reader for the card. I don't have my card with me. Yeah. Sí, tiene que dar la vuelta. Okay. Yeah, they're going to play some soccer out here. This is where you play soccer. They really fixed up these courts. Nobody's even out here today, man. On a beautiful day, 75-degree weather, and nobody's even playing. Crazy. But it's just a nice day. This is where they play the soccer out here. They just kind of hang out here, play some soccer and stuff like that. We'll go ahead and walk all the way up there. And the dogs. They roll the dogs. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of, I've been raised here, South Florida all my life. I just can't get used to it. I was offered a job in North Carolina a long time ago. Went up there. I literally worked 6 months out there. And, but when the winter came, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. It just wasn't for me. So I just kind of stuck here. Worked in Tampa, was there for like 20 years, and then just kind of came back home to Miami. See, this lake goes all the way around. Goes all the way around that way. So it's pretty big. And that's the school over there. It's middle school over there. And it's just a little walking path they have. I mean, it's pretty good area here to just kind of do my daily walks. So anyway, I yeah, my plan at Strongsville. Everybody's asked, do you have any specific cards? I have a lot of cards I'd love to get, but I'm really trying to pick up one or two really good cards. I'm not into buying a lot of volume, a lot of cards. You know, like Mangini. Mangini picks up cards all the time, and first, I don't have that kind of money, and second, I just don't need to get that kind of accumulation because I'm not going to put together a museum like Mangini is. You know, but I do want to make sure that I live to see Mangini's museum, not just his house, a bar, restaurant type museum. I may even work there cooking some Cuban food, you know. Man, you need to go. You need to go to Strongsville. But yeah, I'm gonna take some stuff to trade and some pretty much higher end stuff, higher grade stuff that I could always replace and get in lower grades. Some because really, if you think about it, cards from the 50s and 60s and so on, you know, you can get beautiful, well centered cards mid grade. You don't need to go 8, 9, or anything like that. And, you know, I'm looking at some of my cards that are 8s and stuff from the 50s that are worth quite a bit of money now. And I'm saying, I don't need it. I really don't. Now, for my family, it's maybe a good thing because it's worth a lot of money in that grade or whatever. But for my collection, a good mid grade, beautifully centered card, it's much better than having an 8 that's or a 9 that's a little off centered or just not, or just an 8 or 9, period. So that's kind of my philosophy now. And that's one of the things that really YouTube has helped me with this. Watching Dylan and watching Adam and watching a lot of other guys, and watching some of the quality of the cards that PSA is grading at 5s, 4 and 5s now, which to me, good morning, to me, they should be 7s. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And a Milton Bradley on top of that, you know, I think that's what you said, a 68 Milton Bradley. But yeah, you can pick up cards right now that are mid grade that if you look at them, they look like they're 7s. And I think that's going to be my goal. So I'm going to be taking some, I have my Bob Gibson rookie 59. It's in an 8. I don't need Bob Gibson rookie in an 8, even though it's got a lot of value. I don't need it. I can pick up a 5 and live with it, and probably be just as nice as what I've got. I got a 57 Ted Williams #1 card in the set in an 8. I'm going to take that too. I mean, I don't need it in an 8. And, do I really need it? I mean, that's another card that maybe I just, won't replace, things like that, or buy something else, like a better Ted Williams card. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking at right now, you know, and yeah, I'm telling you, my Ryan rookie is a 5, and that's it. I'm not that's going to be my permanent Ryan rookie, and I'm happy with the 5, you know. And I think anything in mid grade in the 50s and 60s is good enough for anybody's collection nowadays. If you, of course, eye appeal, pick up the right card, but you know, we don't need those high grade cards. Not us as just collect. Now, you're going to be a registry guy? Okay, then you need that, or you want that, or whatever. But for me, that's how my collection has been changing. Yeah, the Veni is super expensive. I mean, eventually I like to pick up some Venezuelans. Um, but if I'm going to do that, for me, since I'm not one to pick up a lot right now, I'm going to try to pick up a mantle, a Venezuelan mantle. I got some Opichi mantles, but I don't have Venezuelan mantles. So maybe one day, and the 67 is expensive, but one day, maybe the 66 or something like that, I could pick up. Yeah, yeah, that Kuzman rookie can get pretty expensive. I'm telling you. But you know what? That's a classic. If you don't have that Kuzman rookie, with me. If you don't have the Kuzman rookie, I mean, you got to have. That's one of, there are cards that you have to have in your collection, and to me, that's one of them. You know? Now, uh, hey, good morning, Ray. Now, for me, when I look at the bench rookie in that set, for some reason, I hate that card. I don't know. To me, the card to have for bench is a 69 bench. So, I'd rather have that in an ISO grade than even as rookie, you know, because I just think it's such a nice, much nicer card. So, got a nice little breeze coming over here. So, really, I'm just going to reanalyze my collection and take a look at, what do I want uh, and what don't I want, because I got to, I'm going for pre-war stuff, and I'd like to pick up some nice pre-war. So, hey, Kuzma was a hell of a pitcher. Well, not Kuzma. He may have had a chance at one time of being a Hall of Famer. But yeah, since I'm going to pre-war, the more and more I look at, and I've been doing this for years, getting rid of some of my 50s and 60s cards, so I can get some of those pre-war cards that I want. Because like we've all said, you can always get those cards again. Now there are some cards from the 50s and 60s that I do want to get. You know, for example, I don't have an Aaron rookie. You know, I always said, "Oh, I'm going to pick one up. I'm going to pick one up," and I never did. And I hope to pick one up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I find a nice one, I could trade it. For the Gibson and then pick up a cheaper Gibson or something like that. There's always deals to be had out there, and that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. So, as far as you know, deciding what card, that's not something I'm going to be able to know yet. Until I get there, because for me, I have a bunch of cards I'm looking to get, but um, it's got to be the right one at the right price, you know, and that's kind of the way it's going to be for me. If I find that right card at that right price at Strongsville, and if I can work up a deal, maybe even a trade deal or trade cash, to me that's the ideal situation. So that's kind of my plan. But I am going to meet up with a good friend of mine, and yeah, see, you got a PSA 8. Yeah, actually, I got lucky with mine. Yeah, that's the kind of the entrance to this area, so a lot of traffic in that particular street there. But you know, yeah, I mean, I got lucky with my bench. That 69 bench that I picked up graded at 8.5, and I picked it up in a trade where it was raw, and the guy, I think it was $150 in trade, and but I saw it. It was beautiful. I looked it over, and I knew it was going to be great, at least a 7 or an 8, and grade 8.5. So take a look at some of the geese here. These are the geese that are here, and I don't remember the name of these geese, but they hang around here sometimes. They come around here, so okay. So anyway, that's kind of my plans for Strongsville. So we're gonna go ahead and try that and see what happens, like we did last year. So last year we did really, really well at Strongsville. Goose Gossage, there he is. I should have done what uh, Mangini did. Yeah, just reading your comment there. You know, uh, I do have a feeling that PSA has to has to learn how to grade uh, cards, especially vintage, more consistently. And I think that's one of the things that they're looking at with SGC because they have to be looking at. They have to have PSA guys or graders that are literally going and watching these SGC guys. I mean, I can't believe that they're not doing some type of, you know, exchanging knowledge there. And maybe PSA changed their grades based on, some of the stuff SGC's doing. Maybe they looked at their standards and said, you know what? Maybe we got to get a little more stricter here. Who knows? But for me, I think SGC is going to be uh, for vintage. I think it's still going to be the way to go. I don't think it's going out away. I mean, if you look at all of the cards, the biggest cards in vintage that I've sold, the majority are SGCs. The Wagners, the Mantle, the 9.5 Mantle, all those cards are SGCs. And they're not going to be, you know, worth any more or less if they were in PSAs. So I do think that overall, SGC is going to stick around. I think PSA is going to be try to be more consistent, try to learn from SGC. Um, there's going to be some big cards coming up for sale recently, from what I've heard. There's going to be another Wagner. Um, Last year was, I think, one of the first years that we didn't have any Honest Wagner T206 cards sell. But there was one in 2023 that sold, and that was the one that was altered. I mean, almost rebuilt, basically. It was completely altered. But it sold for over $2.5 million, I think. And that was 2023. And that particular card is coming back up for sale this year. It's going to come up for sale within the next couple months, I heard. We'll see. We'll get an idea. Yeah. Hey, that card was kind of beat up. If you look at the before and after, they literally had a guy, a restorer, professional restoration that cost them tons of money to restore it completely. The problem is that if you really look at it, they the nose on Hans Wagner looks different than from the original one because it had a huge crease down the middle, and the restoration kind of changed his look. But that car's going to be coming up for sale recently again, and yeah, Billy Wagner. That's about all I could buy also. But we'll see how that goes, and that's going to really tell a lot about the vintage pre-war market. That kind of is a card that kind of you know guides the market. So we'll see. Because recently I saw in the heritage auction some of the 52 manuals. Now they were off-centered, but one of them sold, you know, below. They estimated it was going to be like, I don't know, 250, and it sold for like 200 or something like that. So it's still going to depend on the the eye appeal and the centering now. And I think that's become much more prevalent in the vintage. especially in the vintage arena. Well, and now in the modern, because of the change in the change in the centering for the tens. So it's overall, I think people have caught on that you gotta use your own eyes, and you gotta look at the card because the grading companies, even though it's that's what decides the price, it isn't necessarily what the card is because it's going to depend a lot on that grader's opinion, and it's one person. That's what we got to remember. Unless it's a high, super high, expensive card that grades high, it's going to have one grader looking at it. That's it. And that grader's going to look at that card for less than a minute, and they're going to decide what number to put on there. I mean, that's the way it is. I attended those grading schools. I got my grading diploma. So, no, I have broken cards out from a slab. Yes, I have. Um, I actually, uh, sometime last year, I had an 1888 Goodwin Champion card that was graded a 4 by PSA, but I thought it was undergraded when I looked at the card. And I actually submitted it. I cracked it out, sent it to PSA. I mean, sent it to SGC, and SGC gave it a 5. So SGC bumped it up a grade. Now, is it because SGC is a little more tolerant with cards from the 19th century, or is it because PSA? I don't know, but I looked at the card and I said, no. For a card from this year, from this set, which I know the cards and I know the set, um, it had. I knew it was going to be a 5. I really thought it was going to be a 5. And I think SGC, you know, knows those cards from the 19th century and knows those pre-war cards more than PSA does. So, again, it's going to be the grader. You give a grader that grades cards from even the 60s and 70s, and then they see yeah, I love the SGC. And you give this graders, and then you give the grader a card that's from 1888, and those cards are totally different. The cardboard, the thicker, the way it was printed, the way they were made, versus a card from the 60s, and you just can't literally grade them exactly the same way. You know, so I think SGC, not that they're a little tolerant on that, but I think that they're strict. But I think PSA may be a little more strict on some of those really, really old cards. That I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. But so we'll see on what happens in the future of PSA and SGC. But in my opinion, um, SGC is going to continue to go. They're still going to be active, and PSA is also going to be active. And I just think they're going to be work hand in hand. Uh, and I think more people are shifting over to SGC, especially in the vintage arena. So I don't think PSA can do anything about that. I don't think they can stop them. So anyway, because we have 2 live streams today. A little while ago, I got cut off. Started another live stream. It's got 11 people watching. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. It's a 5-mile walk, so it takes me a little while. But anyway, I'm on my way home and see what happens here. So, yeah. So, Stooks, I'll see you tonight. I'm going to be putting out some videos the next few days here. Got some stuff that I'm thinking about, and just really planning on Strongsville and trying to get some stuff set up for that. And that's going to be awesome. I've got a media pass for Strongsville, so I can get right in there with all the dealers. And then I'm setting up some videos to do with some collectors there that are not on YouTube to help showcase some of their collection. So anybody that wants to do that, that does not have a YouTube channel and wants to share some of their collection, they're going to Strongsville. Hit me up, send me an email. We'll get together and we'll do a nice little video to showcase some of the collections of people that are not on YouTube. And some of those collections are some of the best collections out there. So yeah, REA. We'll take a look at see what's on REA. But I'm saving my money for Strongsville. That's going to be pretty much where I'm at. You know, unless I find something that I know I'm not going to find anywhere. But anyway, that's about it, guys. So hey, I'm almost done with my walk here, guys. So thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. But yeah, I started a live stream. I got cut off there, and I figured I'd do a second live stream today. So since I'm still walking, so this is it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Catch me on tonight on 4Collectors. Have an awesome, awesome day. It's Orlando from the Collector's Dream. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.